She thought that would be really funny. And actually, millions of people pressed on that and thought it was hilarious. Why? Because vegan phobia is real. Bullying vegans is a real thing that people do. It's pretty disgusting.
Everything is a phobia nowadays, I swear, man. I never heard vegan phobia before, but I guess that's now a thing, at least in that vegan teacher's mind, which is just saying enough on its own, to be honest here. But people are not bullying vegans. People are bullying people like you because you legit act insane. I'm just gonna... Hey, what's up, dudes? Today your boy GenNot is coming back with a fresh video on my channel. Hope you're excited for it. So I'm having my YouTube comeback, and there is no better way of getting some nostalgic feelings than taking a look at my waifu, that vegan teacher. I've covered her many times on the channel, and obviously she's still creating content that is insane, especially the video that I'm gonna show you all. But before I go into it, I want to take a look at the comment of the day, and the comment of the day is actually about that vegan teacher. Someone is saying she really traumatizing little children. I 100% agree. She's definitely someone that has traumatized many people in the past with her type of content, but you know, let's get started.
Let's talk about that video I did, the one that got banned. All right? I tell you the truth about what happened, and hopefully you'll understand.
I stopped the video here because I think it's kind of important that you all know the context and what she's talking about. So the banned video in question that she's talking about here was a video where she was saying that basically giving a baby that is vegan meat is the same as and forcing a child. So in that video itself, there was some person that was giving a child that was vegan. That's already questionable, I know, because it's basically the parent forcing it on the child. I think we all know it, but basically the mother of the child made the child itself vegan, and basically someone was giving that child meat, and that vegan teacher was getting a breakdown over that and saying that it's basically the same as a child, and that the vegan virginity was taken from that child. I know it's really insane and crazy. I actually made a video about that.
Because in fact, there is no difference. If a mother tells you not to put something in her child's mouth, and you do it, you have essentially that child's palate. This baby had a right to maintain her vegan virginity. This mother did not consent to her child eating an animal.
Yeah, man, this honestly must be one of the craziest moments in that vegan teacher's career. And that is saying something, I'm not gonna lie. But now you know the context, so let's continue.
First of all, let's all agree on a couple of things. Treating babies badly is not okay. Disobeying parents' orders is also not okay, right? For example, let's say that you had a babysitter come over and you told the babysitter, do not feed this baby any cookies. I don't want you to feed the baby cookies. I don't want her to have a sugar high or whatever.
Man, she is not going to learn anything. She's trying to defend her awful opinion that she was having in that banned video that I showed you all. I was maybe thinking maybe she's going to apologize. Maybe she learned from her past mistakes. But obviously she is not going to learn anything. It's that vegan teacher after all. So she's basically trying to compare giving a child a cookie with basically a child as well, which is just insane. And basically that was the original video as well, where she was saying, oh yeah, giving a vegan child, which is already big cap by itself, because there obviously are no vegan children or vegan babies. The mother and the father are forcing that diet. I don't think I really need to explain that, especially when we talk about little babies, and especially when I sometimes see videos about dogs that get forced into a vegan diet. I always feel bad, man, because that is just a sad situation. And then the vegan is always saying, oh yeah, my dog chose to be a vegan. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's the biggest cap you can imagine. You're obviously forcing that on the dog or on the cat, because you know the dog is going to choose meat if he had really the choice.
You decided if that babysitter went ahead and disobeyed your orders, that would be wrong. And you might even fire her. Certainly you wouldn't be happy.
Yeah, I do agree with that vegan teacher. If you're a parent and you want your baby to not eat something and then basically someone does that without your permission, that's obviously not a good thing. But let's not compare that with legit forcing and doing a horrible thing to a child. I think those two things shouldn't be even compared to each other, but you did that in the banned video and now you're trying to make an argument for it. You should just apologize in this video and say, well, it's not a good comparison to what I did in that video. Obviously those two things aren't on the same level, but instead of that she's trying to defend it.
So your sister decides that she thinks it would be really funny to make a video and put it on the internet of her niece eating the flesh of a dead animal. She thought that would be really funny. And actually, millions of people pressed on that and thought it was hilarious. Why? Because vegan phobia is real. Bullying vegans is a real thing that people do. It's pretty disgusting.
Everything is a phobia nowadays, I swear, man. I never heard vegan phobia before, but I guess that's now a thing, at least in that vegan teacher's mind, which is just saying enough on its own, to be honest here. But people are not bullying vegans. People are bullying people like you because you legit act insane. I'm just gonna say it. The stuff you're saying in that video is just something an insane person would say, and you just do it over and over again. A normal vegan doesn't get bullied because he or she is a vegan. That doesn't happen at all. A lot of people are just fine with people being vegans, but the problem really lies when vegans are trying to push that into other people's throat. Not only that, they basically talk really badly about meat eaters. Meat eaters are like the worst. They're basically like cancer itself. That is why a lot of people hate vegans, because basically they talk badly about meat eaters, or they say, oh yeah, they're all garbage, this and that. If you're just a normal vegan and you just consume vegan stuff, nobody hates you, nobody is bullying. That is big capital. People like you get bullied because you're extreme.
This little baby was there sucking on this bone, and her eyes were popping out like, wow, this is really good. And that's the video that her aunt decided to share. And she made a joke about it. She says, straight out, she wrote right there on the video itself, my sister's vegan and I decided to feed my niece this dead animal as a way to bully her sister.
Look, I'm going to say this again. I do think the aunt was in the wrong in this situation. She obviously shouldn't have given that child meat, especially if the mother of that baby basically said, no, I don't want my child to be having meat, and then you basically disrespect that and give that child meat. Even if I disagree with the fact that the baby gets forced into a vegan diet, I don't think another person should give your child something that you don't want your child to be consuming. That's honestly my opinion. Maybe you're all going to disagree with that, but the vegan teacher is definitely making this entire situation so extreme. Like, it's almost like a war crime that the baby got a little bit of meat. Well, it's obviously not that bad of a thing that happened to the baby. It's obviously not as bad as forcing a child that you basically co-parented with. I'm just gonna say that you're just so extreme and overreacting.
Now, those of you who eat meat will probably have a hard time understanding how devastating this would be to a vegan mom. But just try to empathize with her.
Now she wants us to have empathy for that vegan mom, but she is basically not having any empathy for meat eaters. She's basically calling us, I mean, I don't know if you're vegan or meat eater, but I'm assuming you're meat eater because that's like most of the population. But she's basically calling meat eaters the worst things in the world. But now we need to have empathy for that vegan mom. That doesn't make too much sense in my mind. But having said all of this, now I want to take a look at some of the comments and what they are saying. So someone is saying, I love meat, I love chicken, I love beef. I mean, that is definitely trying to be triggering that vegan teacher, because you know she's reading every single comment. That is definitely the type of person she is. So someone else is saying the same stuff. I mean, it is just troll after troll after troll. And someone else is saying, Oh my god, lady, get over it. Stop harassing people. I mean, that is honestly the best advice I've heard in a long time. Maybe that vegan teacher is gonna change, but I highly doubt it because your boy obviously needs to make more content. But having said all of this, don't forget to press the like button, get subscribed, and I will see you all in the next video.